All right, hey guys, Joe's gonna do a have a push-up day. For those of you that don't know, this will probably help you in your motivation, no matter what you're going through. If you guys didn't know, don't normally watch this channel, we were kind of ambushed by a few 20-year-olds that don't know nothing but to throw rocks, and we both got hit, and Joe got hit in the head and had to have 5 stitches put in his head late Friday. And so we took Friday off, and he's right back at it Monday. It's going to be a light day, probably do push ups only and some bag work. But this is what you got to do. This is tried and true old stuff that no matter what you're going through, you have to keep going and keep training. That's the stuff that champions are made of. And I'll put another video out maybe later tonight or tomorrow to update what's going on with that situation and whatnot. But God help these boys if we get our hands on them. They threw the rocks. I actually charged them I charged toward them while they were throwing the rocks, and they cut and ran. So it's what you deal with in South America. It's a very evil place to live, especially here in Colombia. There's no justice, no nothing. But no matter what we go through, we continue to keep pushing forward. We may be closer to getting back to the U.S. I don't know exactly what's going to happen there, but we've had a couple of options with a couple of different people reaching forward, trying to help us in ways that they can, and we'll just have to see what happens. So we love y'all, and this is a testament. I'm not going to tough talk in this thing. I'm going to let Joe get on with it. But I don't know. He said he was going to do maybe a couple of 250 push-ups. We'll have to see here. He got, like I said, he got those stitches. Had to get a diclofenac shot and a antibiotic shot. Plus, he's been on antibiotics past couple of days. So you're off the antibiotics today, right? Yeah. So today's not taking the antibiotics, and we're going to push forward. I'm going to keep checking where he got the stitches, and if anything looks bad, or red irritation or anything like that, I'm going to put him back on antibiotics. But anyway, here goes. He's going to give it a shot. So uh, however this works out, it's going to be what happens, and will be what we got to go with. Really, that next day he was wanting to work out, and I was like, "No, Joe, you need to take a couple of days off here." Uh, but this is how we rock and how we roll. And Joe, you will find as soon as you get into a good regimen, uh, a lot of fighters are almost in training camp year round. The great ones are. Uh, you have some guys like Roberto Duran. He'd go into a training camp being at 5'7" 5'6". He would go in weighing upwards of close to 300 pounds, which is very obese. And he'd go into training camp and work it off. But people like Marvin Hagler, they just worked, and they worked year round. And so we fall into the camp of the ones, or Joe does rather, camp of the ones that just do a lot of work. So we're going to see how this goes and see how many he gets and feels comfortable with, because I don't really want him to push it too awful hard. And we'll have a reflex bag video up later too. I'm sure he'll want to hit the bag. I hope the bag takes it, because it's a solid steel reflex bag that I had specially made for him. And that thing is very solid, and Joe snaps the springs on these things like they're nothing. And he's a little angry with what has happened and all this mess, so he's about ready to take somebody's head off, and I don't blame him, and I am too. You know, it's amazing if somebody will push you so far your head hits the pillow and you can't get to sleep, and you're like, I'm gonna bash their heads in. But you try to restrain yourself to the point that you can. But I've resigned myself to the fact I may not get up out of this hellhole of a country, but Joe will. And if you are living anywhere from Mexico, in Mexico North, Europe, you don't want to come to Colombia. It is a shithole, a shithole. The people are no good. There's some good people here, but they all get up and go. They get out of here, and you can't say as you blame them. But you figure out who the good ones are and who are not, because the ones who are not good, they go to a better country and they can't adjust to goodness. And it's just a satanic force that grips these people. They perform a whole lot of witchcraft. I mean, things that are worse than what you'd think you'd see in Haiti or somewhere like that. And it's just, you don't want to come here. There's too many more beautiful places, and there's many beautiful places in Mexico, and just squeeze you a few more out here, and then take you a little bit of a good break before you get down on it, because you're getting to a point you can't. How many have you got now?
90.
90? Okay, just take you a little break here. Ain't no need to push it right now. You still got the stitches in your head. And, so we're operating. The moral of this for you would be keep going, even if you're in strife, chaos, or confusion. And if you're a young person and maybe you've got a horrible home life, and you're in boxing or in any sport, and keep pushing at it. Don't let what's going on around you affect you. Just keep fighting through everything. If we were in a just world, we'd just handle this problem. We'd go over there right now, kick their door in, and beat the living hell out of these guys. Punch their mother in the face when she comes out. But we're not in a place where
we're able to defend ourselves.
Yeah, where we're able to defend ourselves. I don't know if you heard Joe in the background. I'm on.
If we were bad guys, we would be able to, but no, because we're good guys, we can't. You can say that.
Yeah, Joe said if we were bad guys, we'd be able to. I'll take it a stretch further. If we weren't gringos and we were just Colombians, we'd be able to wreak havoc on them.
It might cut off.
Oh, okay. Well, just let it run here. It's picking up sound. It's probably picking up your voice too. So I might cut off, but yeah. They only promote evil and bad things here, and it's very sad. And you got a lot of people, they go to church, they're in church all the time, and they wouldn't know Christ if he reared up and bit them in the rear end. And so if we're able to function, of course Joe's got the added advantage of having a stable father, and many of you don't even have that, and you're in strife and chaos and confusion. And we say we're praying for you, but even then, keep pushing forward. I went my dad died when I was very young, and I went through a whole lot, and I didn't have my dad. And my mom would literally work in a truck stop, a first and a second shift, or a third and a first shift, and things like that, and or second and third shift. And I was alone so much, and a lot of fears, a lot of things, being in a house by yourself. And of course today, if you're in a house by yourself and your parents are killing themselves to make sure you got a roof over your head, if they're not there, the government will come get you and put you somewhere, an orphanage or something, or an abusive, the foster care, I think you call it, house or something. But back then, we had to do what we had to do, and went through a lot. And being in the house in the middle of the night and getting scared as a kid and things like that. And, I grew up, I thank the Lord our God Christ so much that Joe is a good eater and that I'm able to provide good food for him, because I was a mayonnaise sandwich guy. We were lucky if one thing my mama could keep us stocked with was jars of mayonnaise and bread. And I literally grew up on mayonnaise sandwiches. And we had eggs. I could scramble me an egg and make an egg sandwich. And we had, of course, when we had bologna, Lord have mercy, I'd fry up bologna sandwiches and think I was in heaven. So, and this didn't go on the whole time, but for I believe 3 years it did, and the times were very, very hard, very, very difficult. And you just got to keep pushing through and keep going. If you got one parent at the house that you're missing a mother or a father, you just keep going. Life is not easy. It can be very cruel. And if you want to push forward and get ahead, be a champion, you're going to work through it all. Maybe you got a brother or a sister that's on drugs or something crazy, and you have to deal with that. You just get inside that gym, do what you got to do, work at the house or wherever you live, apartment or a trailer or whatever roof you got over your head, and keep going. Fight and claw through it. That used to produce such excellent fighters, is the will to push forward, the will to get out of the streets, the will to get out of the rundown trailer park, the will to get out of the projects. And you don't see that will so much in young men anymore, and you got to keep pushing forward and just never ever quit. How many you got right now, son?
I think I got 180.
180? Okay. How's your head feeling? Fine? So I talk on these things. We don't show a whole lot of what we do. I repeatedly tell you guys, I keep close to my vest a lot of the things that we do. always telling people, I don't want to show you how to beat my son up. And nor should you want to show me how to beat yours up or beat your guys up at your gym or whatever it is you have or what you do. But I will tell you, we're so thankful to God that we got even have a roof over our head, that we have some food, that we're able to pay for electric and water and gas to cook with and things like that, and something to cook. And we're so thankful to God for these things. And life is a struggle, and you know, for those of you that maybe's been on the other side of the tracks all your life, I've been on the other side too. The majority of my life, it's been good times, good money, good things. And but I always tell everybody, a news flash to you, no matter what your station in life, you're just a step away from them streets every day that comes. No matter who you are, where you're from, what's going on. And you need to be humble in that. And because people can lose much quicker than they can gain. You gonna go for 250? All right, he's gonna go for 250. So this is not, if Joe can punch out 250 push-ups, and I can tell by looking at him right now, there's some more stuff he's gonna do. And I know he's gonna do some bag work in a little bit. And us going through this hell, what can you do if you're not going through hell? And like I was saying, I hope I completed that thought earlier, if you're still with us, that once you get in a regimen, and I don't know so much about routine, but a regimen where you are doing the same, maybe not the same things, but that same amount of time is being carved out every day for an activity. Boxing, football, baseball, schoolwork, whatever it is. After some months, you will miss it if you're not there. There's always the creeping dread that comes in to going and getting there, or getting into it, getting started for the day. But if you don't do it, you have a bigger regret than you do for the dread that you have that may be keeping you from it. The regret will be bigger. So even when Joe gets sick, you know, we get eat up with colds or flu symptoms, just as soon as Joe can get on it, he's on it. He's been down here doing push-ups with snot going from his nose to the floor. How many you got right now?
I got 20 left.
You got 20 left. So you got 230. Good job. You gonna stop now? You gonna go on?
Just 20 more. Oh, actually, go run my best right now. Swim 15 minutes.
Yeah, in time you got 220 and what is it?
230, 15 minutes and 1 seconds.
Oh yeah, because I started,
Oh.
the time on here is longer because I was talking in the beginning. So 15 and 20 seconds and you got 230. Yeah. And push-ups are a necessity in boxing. We don't do them every single day. Some boxers, they do it, that they don't really give the recoup time that we give. But a lot of guys, they do the push-ups as a staple every single day. And we don't do them every single day. But Joe does some dumbbell work that a lot of other guys don't do. Maybe their style doesn't permit it, or their body composition or whatever. But with the style that Joe uses, we build concrete, and this is why when Joe gets hit, he'd get the crap knocked out of him and still be standing there just fine. And another thing, we don't show it, but you really need to be working your neck out, because your neck needs to be very sturdy and very strengthy to be able to handle punches to the jaw and the head and the face. How many you got now? 250. All right, well, he got his 250. I want to tell you all, we hope everybody has a great rest of the week, and with much love to you. And I'll end this like I end every video. And all our imperfectness up in around here, and we are not perfect, but in all our imperfectness, Christ is our King and our Lord and our God up in this house. So we hope He is in yours too. Have a good week, everybody.